Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Welcome everyone. Thank you, Murli Priya Prabhu, for introducing and giving me this opportunity, and request all the devotees to please pray for me as we speak a few topics on in the Bhagavad Gita on mind control, and one of the most difficult things to do. So obviously I'm not eligible to speak on mind control, but I would like to share some of the things that I have learned, which is more practically applicable. Okay, let's.
Kids can go.
Kids class is starting. The kids who want to go can go. What are we doing in the kids class?
Shloka coloring.
Shloka, coloring, games. You're giving cake. You give cake, I'll also come. Okay. Okay, we can start. Okay, Hare Krishna. So, how many of you here can say that I have got full control of my mind? Hare Krishna. Wait, I want to know how many of you are fully controlled, then I will know what to speak. All of us are not able to control mind, is it? Okay, seriously. So, such a nice topic we have, and one of the things that I did when this topic was given was to look on the net as to how many books are there. This is probably less than 0.1%. Just put mind control and you get thousands of books. So how many of you read at least one of these books? No one? Someone there? Yes, Mataji, you have read? Okay, so you didn't lift your hand. I thought you could have controlled your mind by now. Difficult, no? Difficult. Okay. So in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna actually says, Chanchalam hi manam Krishna. Mind is extremely chanchala, restless. I can control the wind with my powers, but I am not able to control the mind. So mind control is not very easy. It's going to be extremely difficult. So let's see what we can practically learn from today's chapter. We already had the introduction which Murli Priya Prabhu said. Right, so this whole discussion is happening from that 2nd chapter shloka which talks about Siddha Prajna. So Arjuna is asking, Siddha Prajna is a ka bhasha? How does he speak? How does he walk? What does he do? What are his activities? Who is that person who is fully controlled? Who is a dhira? Who is that? Siddha Prajna. That's the question. So far we have answered a few things, saying that if you control your senses, that person is a Siddha Prajna. Okay, he talks nothing other than that of the Lord. So that's what we have seen so far. So we'll see what do we have in discussion today. Okay, so we'll go to Bhagavad Gita 266 to 268. We'll try to see we can cover these three shlokas today. Okay, what is the 2nd chapter name before we get into shloka? What's the name of the 2nd chapter? You can give opportunity to others. No, organizer should not talk. Yes, disqualified. Contents of Gita summarized. That means we are going to learn all the different topics here that will talk about karma, dhyana, jnana, yoga, bhakti. Everything will be covered here. And you will see very nicely Krishna kind of summarizes all topics leading to this one concept of bhakti. Okay, so we'll be discussing a few things on bhakti, but can someone tell me what's bhakti? You people have to look for it. What is bhakti? Serving Lord is bhakti. Missing one item. Surrendering to the Lord is bhakti. Okay, missing one more thing. Loving devotional service, Prabhupada's translation. Serving the Lord with love. That's the missing element, right? So, Bhagwan और भक्ति के बीच में जो होता है भक्ति है, right? So, Bhagwan, the Lord is there, but supposedly we practicing the interrelationship or the connection between us and the Lord is bhakti, and that's exhibited through loving devotional service. Remember, this bhakti is not devotion, it is lovingly doing your devotional service. Okay. So with that bit of a background, we'll continue. You can repeat after me in this shloka. Nasti buddhir avuktasya. Nasti buddhir ayuktasya. न चायुक्तस्य भावना
न चायुक्तस्य भावना
न चाभावयतः शान्तिर्
न चाभावयतः शान्तिः
अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्
अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्
नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य
नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य
न चायुक्तस्य भावना
न चायुक्तस्य भावना
न चाभावयतः शान्तिर्
न चाभावयतः शान्तिः
अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्.
अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्.
Okay, can some devotee try? Who is not read here earlier? Someone who is new. It's not very difficult. Easy shloka. Yes, Mataji, please go. Can you read the shloka? We will all repeat after you. Do one line at a time. नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयतः न चाभावयतः शान्तिः अशांतस्य कुतः सुखम्. Thank you so much, Mataji. Anyone else who wants to try? It's very nice to read. Yes, Mataji, go ahead. नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयतः शान्तिः अशांतस्य कुतः सुखम्. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, we'll see if we can read the others later. Okay, translations and purports by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: one who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Purport: unless one is in Krishna consciousness, there is no possibility of peace. So it is confirmed in the 5th chapter 5.29 that when one understands that Krishna is the only enjoyer of all the good results of sacrifice and penance, that he is the proprietor of all universal manifestations, and that he is the real friend of all living entities, then only can one have real peace. Therefore, if one is not in Krishna consciousness, there cannot be a final goal for the mind. Disturbance is due to want of an ultimate goal, and when one is certain that Krishna is the enjoyer, proprietor and friend of everyone and everything, then one can, with a steady mind, bring about peace. Therefore, one who is engaged without a relationship with Krishna is certainly always in distress and is without peace. However much he may make a show of peace and spiritual advancement in life, Krishna consciousness is a self-manifested peaceful condition which can be achieved only in relationship with Krishna. I'm hoping all of you know the invocation prayers, the prayers that we do to the parampara to start hearing and practicing. So we all repeat together. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadakikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Shakanvitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vacha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna. So, here in this shloka it tells Ashantasya kuta sukham. Okay, if you are not peaceful, what is happiness? Right? So all of us are looking for only one thing. What is it?
Peace.
Happiness. Right? We have discussed this probably last time also. I had spoken the same topic because end of the day that's the only topic. We want to be happy. How are we going to be happy is all left to us. Okay? Who is that one person who gives us happiness?
Krishna.
What is that one thing that gives us happiness? Who tells you that you're happy or not? It's very relative. Yes. Okay. A person, his head is put into water. Okay? He's suffering for breathing. You take his head out. He's able to breathe. Is he happy or not?
Yes.
Is that happiness?
No.
That's not really happiness, but yes, he's happy, right? So who tells you he's happy?
He himself.
He himself. Which part of himself? You have read so many things, right? So you have had that example of the chariot where the soul, the intelligence, you have done that, right? I'm hoping because by now you would have seen that once. I'll repeat it, okay? So there is a chariot, there is a person who's traveling in the chariot, he's got a friend in the chariot, there is a chariot driver, and there are horses, usually the 5 horses, that are carrying the chariot, and there is a reins that the person sitting on the chariot driver is holding and taking. Okay, the wheels are said to be day and night and all that. Okay, the explanation comes very nicely in Srimad Bhagavatam. This example all of us know, otherwise I would have got the picture. Okay, this chariot is said to be the body. Yes, you have seen this, then you should know. Otherwise, can you pull up the picture, Prabhu? We can show it once afterwards, maybe. Okay, so the chariot is the body. Okay, the horses are the
5 senses.
the senses. The 5 horses are the typical 5 senses. The chariot driver is the intelligence. The intelligence will tell the senses which direction to go. How does it tell it? Through the reins. The rope that the horse is got tied to the person who is riding, that's called the reins, and this is the mind. And the person sitting in the chariot? In the body, we are sitting with the soul, and the friend is the Paramatma, the super soul. Okay, remember this is a very nice example. Okay, now this mind is the one that tells the person that good, you escaped from that water, you are able to take breath. The mind is the one who tells. So you feel happy or sad because of that connection. Whom does he tell? Who's got the control? Intelligence. Intelligence. The intelligence tells us don't do it again, or do it again, you will enjoy or you will not enjoy. Correct? Clear? Okay. Let's take a small story. Okay, there is one very rich businessman. Okay, he's got a huge factory. All his investment is in the factory. He's got 2 sons. Okay, so one day his 2 sons come to him and tell that now we have grown up. We don't want to run your factory. We don't want to continue your factory. Please sell it. Give us the money. We will run our own business. This person's entire money is on that factory. So he decides, okay. So he goes finds a person who will buy the factory. So he's sold the factory. He's signed the document. The document processing is happening. It takes us some time to get the document signed. Okay. They are signing. There is conversation that's happening between the buyer and this family. Okay. The seller and the buyer. Okay. All this is done. He's sleeping, and that day he gets a call in the night saying that, Sirji, your factory is on fire. Okay, there is fire in your factory. Immediate reaction. Arey mera sab kuch lut gaya. I have lost everything. Right? First reaction. So he rushes with his 2 sons to the factory. He sees that the factory is burning. Now, what is his mind telling? You have lost everything. All yours is gone. That time the son says, Papa, but we signed that agreement, no? It's now the buyer's problem, not yours. What's his mind telling? Hey, not your problem. Someone else's problem. Okay? My factory, but not my factory. Right? So you are now disconnected. His mind says, Chalo yaar, it's okay. Let's not worry. Immediately his second son says, "Arey, but why will he buy? अभी तक तो पैसा नहीं आया. He has just been doing documentation. Why will he pay the money if there is no factory?" Again, what does the mind say? भाई तू लुट गया. Right? You are all lost.
Insurance.
Right? Insurance. Next part. Okay? So immediately the first son says, "But we had insurance for the factory. Right? So we'll get the money." Second son says, "The moment you sign the document, legal process, the insurance will stop."
Yes.
Mind again said, "Okay, insurance money will come, I'm safe. Insurance money will not come, I'm lost." This person again says, "Arey, you know what? The person who's bought it, he's also done an insurance because he's a bigger businessman. He's got something and he's man of words. Don't worry, he will buy." The second son is saying something. But what happened through this process? What happened to this person? The one that happens to us. Mine, not mine. Mine, not mine. Situation to same hai. Factory is burning, they are all standing and seeing. But the mind decides, happy, not happy. Yours, not yours. You are lost, you have not lost. You have won, you have not won. This part keeps coming from your mind. That's why many of us have this concept of talking about mind, saying that what is it that will keep me happy for a longer duration of time. All of us are clear that when I'm taken out of a suffering place, that's not happiness, that's not peace, but that's a better situation than being in water. Okay, if the mind is properly trained, I think you will hear this in the 3rd chapter. Again, elaborate discussion on this topic will come in the 6th chapter. 6th chapter is called the Dhyana Yoga. Lot of discussion will come in the 6th chapter, where this whole concept of mind and me, mind, not mind, and how to control the mind will be discussed. Okay, the whole part of mind control is why? Because the mind is telling you, you are this body, you are this person, you own this or you don't own this. The lesser we are connected to this process of me and mine, you will have lesser problem. Okay, fine. We'll see another example before we go. Right, so how many of you drive here? How many of you have a car? Okay, very few of you. I'm surprised Bangalore traffic is so high. Okay, how many of you feel that whenever we bought a new car, I have got a small car as well, when you take your car out, if someone scratches your car, how do you feel? It's a touch.
Depressed.
Huh?
Depressed.
We got scratched.
We got scratched, sometimes more than that. No, my scratch I get put oil, but car comes, you'll start thinking, right? One small scratch, can't fix it, it's not easy. Why? What did you relate to with? This car is extended me. This is me. Why? Because the mind says so. Same thing, imagine you're going in a BMTC bus, you're going in a taxi, auto, whatever, there's a scratch, what happens? Chalo yaar, dekhte hain, kya maza? Right, our reaction, mind says that there is some gossip, some entertainment that's going to happen. Let's have fun here, right? So, because you're connected, you have a problem. You're not connected, you don't worry. And the whole concept that we are probably going to discuss now is, how do I have less ownership of all these material things so that I'm more peaceful and leading towards happiness. Ashanta Kuta Sukham. That's what we are going to learn. Okay. So here there is one very simple concept that's mentioned. This is what we'll probably kind of conclude, right? So this whole concept of the boat will come later, right? So the mind is in a very disturbed boat. So when the disturbance is because we don't have an ultimate goal. Okay, we'll talk about an ultimate goal in some time. What is the goal? How do we go about it? But when you have a proper goal, smaller things do not bother you. You're not worried about the smaller things. Okay, because we don't have one fixed goal, everything looks important for us. That's our problem. Career is important, children are important, parents are important, spouse is important, obviously wife is important, or recorded video. So whatever, right? So every part we feel important. Is Krishna important?
Yes.
Krishna is also important.
Not also.
That's the problem that we have. Okay, if Krishna is centered, everything else is subservient to Krishna, then we are more happy. Okay, we'll actually see that in a bit. No, when do I start? If you tell me the time. Okay. Okay, up to 6. Okay. Okay, Shloka 2.67. Indriyanam hi charata yen manunu vidyate tad asya harati pragnam Vayu Nama Vambasi. Okay, the translation says, as a strong wind sweeps away a boat on water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence. Okay, very nice shloka. So Krishna here is giving us an analogy. He is giving us an example. That's the topic that we had today, right? So, like a boat, even if there's one hole in the boat will sink. Right? So boat has to travel. Okay. What is the safest way for the boat? What is the safest thing for the boat? No storm. Okay. Even more safer. 100% guarantee the boat will not sink.
Stay in the harbor.
Very nice. You just stay in the harbor, you will not sink. But that's not our situation, right? So we have to travel. We have to travel. The life has to go on. That means there are going to be trouble, issues that are going to come in. Okay? So even if there is one diversion, the boat will have different problems. Okay? Take some very simple examples. Have you heard of deer, jinke, that actually gives a very nice smell? The musk smell. You have heard? What does the deer do? For people who don't know, a musk deer eliminates or sweats basically. There's a very, very fragrant smell, and the deer is very attracted to that smell. It's so attracted that it starts searching out that smell. The problem is the deer doesn't know that the smell is coming from its own body. So it starts chasing that smell. Wherever it goes, it feels that the smell is near. Right? So it keeps continuing to run. When does it stop? When it can't breathe anymore. So it stops. Sometimes it falls down dead. Why? That one smell, that one sense was so attractive that it can't do anything else. It just keeps blindly going behind. Like that, there are many, many examples that you see in the nature. Like you have these fireflies that come in. Right? So what are they attracted to? Light. And what happens when they touch the light or the fire?
They get burned.
They burn. But still, their attraction, they will say, wow, itna acha lagta hai. Right? So it goes and jumps there. You've seen camel? Camel enjoys cactus. Cactus doesn't have taste.
Yes.
How many of you eaten cactus?
No,
Not eaten, is it? Maybe some other life you might have. They cook cactus, by the way. No, if you go to other places, they actually cook cactus. Cactus is one of the places that is edible also.
Edible cactus.
Yeah. So anyways, camel enjoys eating cactus. The taste is not in the cactus. What is the taste coming from? The thorns. When it pinches the camel's tongue, there is blood that's coming out. That blood is very tasty. After eating it, realizes that it's got holes in its tongue, it's suffering. Like that, these are just few examples, right? So how do they capture an elephant? Do you know? How do they capture an elephant? The she elephant, someone said that, right? So they actually keep a she elephant, and the she elephant, looking at that, this elephant loses its senses, it just runs towards it and falls into the pit, and then they capture it. Okay? So eyes, ears, nose, tongue, sab kuch ho gaya. So all of this and the skin, right? So it gets attracted. There are animals that are captured using very sweet music. The hunter plays a very sweet music, and the animal will come and catch it. One sense, animal is gone. Our problem is a little bigger. We have all the senses that attract us at all point in time. Okay, where all it attracts? I was just passing through this road, 27th May, 29th May. There is hoarding everywhere. Take this, you will be happy. Take this new lipstick, you will be happy. Take this car, you will be happy. Buy a house here, you will be happy. That's what is all the advertisement, right? So you open anything, this is what it says. It just attracts your different senses. Come for a trekking here, come for this, come for that, take a holiday, right? Earn this, earn that. And whenever we go towards that direction, what are we doing? We are losing a little bit of time that we could have given to Krishna, given to our self-development. That's what we saw in the previous shloka as well, right? It's a self-manifested peaceful condition. What does that create? What does the mind create when you see an ad? Let's say the new latest car, and you are interested in buying that car. Your mind says, "Arey, ye nahi hai to kya hai? If this is not with you, what have you achieved?" Right? That's automatic. That's okay. If I buy this, I'll be happy. After you buy this, when you have your first scratch, then you'll realize, okay. So anything that you invest in, if it's not towards Krishna, it's going to take you away from Krishna. And the more, all of us have the same 24 hours, right? So it is our choice as to how much you want to give Krishna, how much you don't want to give Krishna. Okay? And even so, Srila Prabhupada mentions that even if you're interested in one rasgulla, you'll have to stay back in the material world. Not that you don't get rasgulla in the spiritual world, you get it, but you're interested in the material world rasgulla, right? So now what you have to do at the end of life, basically we should be in a situation that we don't have any attraction. Easy? Easy, not so easy. Little difficult, very difficult. If it was so easy, all of us would have not stayed here. Okay. So giving up of these desires. In the previous book also we saw that, right? Disturbance is not because of that. Okay. Anyway, desire is the cause for us to continue to stay here. We keep churning out desires. Okay. How many of you have no desires? Okay. Anyone who's heard or followed Buddhism? Buddhism goes into this concept. You have heard? Followed? Buddhism's concept, you know? Shunyavad. It talks about Shunyavad. That means you have to become zero. That means you should be desireless. You should have zero desires. Okay? Even Lord Buddha had the desire that everyone should be desireless.
Correct.
Correct, no?
Yes.
You agree to this concept? Okay. There's a very nice book of Srila Prabhupada that's called Beyond Illusion and Doubt. If any of you have read that, it's a very nice book. He takes different philosophies and ties it back to Vedic scripture, saying that why is this philosophy either incomplete or stopping at some place which is not going to give you ultimate goal. It's a very, very wonderful book. If you don't have here, you should have that book, but it's a very nice book. So, like this. So, all of us have some desire. So, how do I now become desireless? That's not possible. So, what should I be doing with those desires that I have? We have desires. What should I do with it?
Offer it to Krishna and then.
Offer the desire to Krishna.
And then in the name of Krishna.
In the name of Krishna, enjoy. Right? So you are still going to be here. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. But so offer Krishna what he wants, not what he wants. Right? So we move this concept of I want rasgulla, so I'll cook and offer it to Krishna, which is very nice. Better than I going to a Haldiram's or a Kanti sweets and eating a rasgulla. But we understand what Krishna wants, right? So that is where the wonderful festivals come. It can be Janmashtami or Balram Jayanti or Radhashtami. You know, Radharani ko Arbi pasand hai. What are the big things I can do in Arbi? Right? How many of you, if you have not done that, then Radharani loves Arbi. Arbi, you know, I don't know the English name. It's a very complicated name. Caucasia, right? So some name like that. Right? You understand, you cook it, you offer it to them. They are happy, you take it. So you don't offer your desires to Krishna, but your desires should be for satisfying Krishna. Okay, same example, I want to buy a car, I want to travel, I will go to Krishna's place. I'll go to the place where I can take devotees to the temple. Right? These people do, they come to the temple. They have also got a car, they also bring prasadam, they bring devotees this way, back here. I've got money, instead of renting a big place, let me rent a place for Krishna. Same, activity is exactly the same. What changes? Yes, we centered around Krishna. What changes is our attitude towards that activity. That activity is not for my enjoyment, but the activity is for Lord's enjoyment. And personal experience, when you do it for the Lord, you are a little more happier than what you would be earlier. Because you know that somehow or other, I have tried pleasing Krishna. Okay, so that brings us to a very important topic. Okay, yesterday a very important event happened. How many of you know? How many of you have been in Krishna? How many of you are chanting 16 rounds? Very few. Okay. How many of you are chanting 8 rounds? 8 rounds, Hare Krishna. Very nice. Okay. How many of you have been in Krishna consciousness for 1 year? Have been in this for 1 year? Okay, a lot of you. So last year, around this time, we would have done something called a book marathon. Have you heard?
Yeah.
Yesterday was the inauguration of book marathon. Okay. What is book marathon? We distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. Ideally Srila Prabhupada's books. Okay? Whom do you distribute? To people? To everyone that we find. Right? So there's no discrimination.
Today also they are distributing.
Today also they were distributing. What I'm trying to say is today we will distribute from today onwards. Right? No, that's right. They are distributing, so we should also be part of it. Okay, and there's a very nice advantage of it.
I got one.
Very nice. Very nice book. You got one. You have already had that book you took, or you don't? You didn't
I
have.
had, but they wanted to give me one more, so I thought I'll give to somebody.
Very nice. Very nice. Whoever was doing that, I think they should be part of our team. No, very nice. Okay, so this one of the ways, right? So what we're talking here is how do I direct or my activity towards Krishna, right? So that's what we are talking here. Very nice or very simple is we do activities that are pleasing the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, the acharyas in the parampara. By that we are guaranteed that the Lord is pleased. Okay, that's all. How do you know the Lord is pleased? How do you know the Lord is pleased? Oh, we just spoke, no? We are doing activities for pleasing the Lord. How do you know the Lord is pleased?
Spiritual master.
Spiritual master is pleased. How do you know spiritual master is pleased?
Salera Parichaya.
Huh?
Salera Parichaya.
Alena? By the benefits that you get. What is that one phala that we are looking at?
Happiness. When we'll be happy.
When we will be happy, okay. Krishna is happy. No, Krishna is happy, we will be happy, not the other way around. Don't think we will be happy, Krishna is happy. Okay, when you do a service, the Lord is happy or the Lord has accepted your service, very simple test. Very, very simple test. You will continue to do that service.
You will continuously get that service. Yes, it was
We are happy. It means that Krishna is happy. That is the reason we are happy. Otherwise, very difficult.
Yeah, so not always. Not always. The drunkard on the road feels that he's happy. The person who's come out of the water feels that he's happy because his mind is telling that you're happy doing this. Krishna is not happy with that, right? So it's not this way, but it's the other way. When the Lord is happy, you will become happier. Okay? But when you do a service happily for Krishna, you will continue to get service. You will continue to do the service. Okay, that's a short test that the Lord is happy with what you have done. When you come here, associate with devotees, when you are enjoying the kirtan, the katha, the prasadam, when you are able to come next week, that means you have actually felt happy coming here. The Lord is happy that you have come here. You're not faking. Okay? And as you continue to do it, you will automatically become happier to do more and more for the Lord. Right? So I was just giving that example, diverted a little, right? So we are in the material world. Material world is usually compared to a deep, dark well. Deep dark well. We are in a well inside, very dark. We don't know how to get out of this well. So you are trying to see what is there. You are touching here, you are touching there. Okay, there is some rope, there is some roots of a tree, there is some snake that is hanging. You want to climb up, right? So some stone. You want to put your own effort and come out of it. Extremely difficult. There, someone says that, why don't you catch that rope? Or why don't you come to that rope? I will also climb. You also climb with me. Right? Is that a better option than you trying to search? That person who actually tells you, I'm also here like you, but come, let's hold to that rope and go, because I've seen people climb through that route. That person is usually called a Pada Pradaksha Guru, the person who's giving you direction in Krishna consciousness. Okay? So when you give a Bhagavad Gita or a Prabhupada book to someone, you are becoming that person who's telling, let's hold that rope and go up. Is the Lord pleased with you? The Lord is very pleased with you. Your Krishna consciousness, your spiritual life, whatever spiritual pieces that you're expecting to get, I want to become spiritually strong, that is triggered out. They're all trying to be happy doing some spiritual activities. That way we are probably sitting here on a Sunday evening when people are planning how to finish off, which movie to see, which where to enjoy, where to go out with the family. If you are able to spend this time for Krishna, the Lord is going to be very happy when you are able to bring someone along with you. That's that person. And what's the guarantee that you will hold that rope and go up? There is a person, imagine I'm going to hold a rope and come up a 50-60 meter well. It's going to be very difficult. Imagine there's a person sitting on top and saying, come, let me hold you. Better position, safer,
Yes.
more guarantee that you will go back. And suddenly you will realize that rope the person is put is not one person, but a chain of people who are holding and taking you. Happier position. That is what is Krishna consciousness all about. There is your Guru, there is the entire parampara holding and trying to take you out of this material situation. And then our mind says, अरे छोड़ो यार, वहाँ पे देखो आज क्रिकेट मैच चल रहा है, लेट्स लुक एट द स्कोर, लेट्स वॉच दिस मूवी, दिस न्यू मूवी रिलीज, नो कांतारा इज रिलीज, आई विल वांट टू वॉच दैट मूवी. You will lift that rope, you are going to restart again. Only advantage is there are people who are holding us, sometimes saying that from that position let's continue. Don't need to fall down back unless you badly offend. So our mind is the one who decides, after we have all come here, decides if you want to continue going up or you want to stay in that position or will fall down. And that mind, when it's well trained, it becomes the best of our friends. Otherwise it is
Enemy.
the best of our enemies. Because that untrained mind is not able to control the senses, the horses, and the intelligence is idle because the intelligence is not able to hold that rope. So Lord Krishna in 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Yenamam upayatite. He says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. A person who does priti purvakam bhajana or worship of me, I give him the intelligence by which he comes back to me. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. That intelligence is trained so that it can control the mind. Right? So when you touch the fire, you get burned. Next time, why do we not touch the fire? Because we are trained that इसमें हाथ रखोगे तो जलेगा. This will burn my hand. It is not a good situation. Correct? A madman is the one who will go and put his hand again. So we are all intelligent, supposedly. Okay? But again, we do the same thing again and again and again. Hey, it's very simple. Okay? We go on the road, probably in college. While coming back from college, there used to be one masala puri shop. I was very, very addicted to that shop. Okay, because we used to get some pocket money. Whatever that masala puri would charge about 3 rupees. So I would save some 3 rupees once or twice a week and go and have masala puri. One time, stomach was badly upset. I said, "Aaj se wahan nahi khayenge." Decided, no. From there, I will not eat. 1 week later, 3 rupees is there. Stomach is all fine. What does the mind say?
Go eat there.
Go ahead and
Chalo yaar, kha lete hain. Exactly, right? That's what we keep doing. We tell the child who would put his hand back in the fire is fool. But we keep doing it, saying that, will I get happiness here? Will I get happiness there? Will I watch this movie? I'll get happiness. Will I listen to this politics? Bihar elections happened. Office may we all discuss. So I know these topics. Now that I don't know, so these things keep coming. Right? So BJP won, they did not win. It happened like this, it happened like that. Your mind will give you hundreds of options. Only if your intelligence is trained, you will be able to restrain it. Otherwise, even that one diversion will actually pull us out. Even one of our roaming senses will pull us down. Okay? Let's look at the third story. Okay, we'll look at the story. We have time. Okay. So, how many of you know the story of Shaubari Muni? Okay, Shaubari Muni is a very wonderful personality. Okay, so he was, what happened? You have discussed this story? Okay, I'll keep it short then, right? So, huh? Okay, Shaubari Muni is one of those Munis, Rishis, a very wonderful personality. He had so much control. So you have heard of Siddhis. So he's one of the Siddhas, wherein he had so much Siddhi that he could go underwater, meditate inside water. In a river, sea, whatever it is, he could go deep down and meditate. Nothing affects to his body. He was that elevated. So very wonderful, right? Had full control of his physical things, right? So he was doing meditation. One time when he opened his eyes, he saw 2 small fishes. They were mating, they were just kissing each other. He's like, wow, can I also get this sukha? One moment he thought. He was so elevated, right? So he was a wonderful person. One moment, wow, this looks very nice. He comes out, then he goes to a king. He says, I want to marry. The king says, which daughter you want to marry? I have these 9 daughters or 29 daughters or whatever. He says, all of them. Sukha to hai, let me marry. And then he had a huge cycle that he had to marry, then he had to go through this whole experience. Why did all this happen? He was so controlled, self-controlled. If you have to stay in water and meditate on the Lord, or meditate on the different personalities in the parampara, so he was so elevated. One moment, one diversion, take diversion, he has to go through a cycle. Even one of the roaming senses, it will take our boat away. Okay, so that's what we understand from this shloka. So this is the last shloka for today. We'll see this and we'll see some more examples here. Tasmadisya mahabaho nigrahatani sarvashah indriyani indriyatepyas tasya prajna pratishtita. Therefore, O mighty arm, one whose senses are restrained from their objects is certainly of steady intelligence. Okay. We saw the senses have to be controlled. Even one of the roaming senses will take us out. If you can control your senses, you have a very steady intelligence. Okay. One can curb the force of sense gratification only by means of Krishna consciousness or engaging all the senses in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As enemies are curbed by superior force, the senses can similarly be curbed not by any human endeavor but only by keeping them engaged in the service of the Lord. One who has understood this, that only by Krishna consciousness is one really established in intelligence, and that one should practice this art under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, is called a sadhaka or a suitable candidate for liberation. Okay. What is ultimate goal of life? Happiness. Okay. Ultimate goal of life is to happily serve Krishna. Okay. Liberation is one of the ways of guaranteeing that we are happily serving Krishna. Where? In the spiritual world. In the spiritual world. Liberation, mukti. Mukti means getting out of this material world, going to the spiritual world. Right? The Vaikuntha Loka. There what you will do?
Serve the Lord.
Lovingly serve the Lord. Don't miss that word. Okay, yes. There we go. We will lovingly serve the Lord. Here what are we doing? Trying to lovingly serve the Lord. Okay, serving the Lord is the same. We are not fully in love with the Lord, but we are trying to gather that love.
Only divergence, materialistic.
Correct, right? So that's why we are called sadhaka bhaktas. We are practicing devotees. What are we practicing? Practicing how to love the Lord. How to love. Practicing. When we are perfected, we are called Shuddha Bhaktas. We will continue to lovingly serve the Lord. See, your service will not stop. Okay? Only the quality of your service will change from what we are doing today to a better situation. But once you are in that sadhaka situation, when you are very serious or sincere in wanting to serve the Lord happily, then the Lord makes it a point that He will give you all the facilities for you to go back to Him, be engaged in that service happily. Okay, Lord is called reciprocal, right? So Lord is very looking forward. So if you see Jagannath, what is the feature of Jagannath that is very easy to see, very attractive feature?
He's always his hands.
His hands are like this. That's the feature that you see.
Eyes.
Huge eyes,
Big eyes.
big eyes, and he's searching with those big eyes, saying, "Is there one pinch of love in this person?" That's what he sees. One drop of love. He says, "Arey, that love is there. Come." Okay, and he's waiting to hug us, right? So he's saying, "Come, I will carry you. I will take you back. I will give you the hug." Right? So when you are with devotees, I think Murli Priya Prabhu, Guru Gaurang Prabhu, they keep organizing yatras as well. When you are with the devotees, when you are going to different dhams, you will see how the Lord in each of these places are just waiting for us to come back. Just very eagerly waiting for us to come back. Okay? Many of you South Indians at least would have gone to Tirumala. What does the Lord do there? How is his hasta? How many of you remember? His right hand is like this. He says, "Come, surrender to me, I will take you back." So when you go to any of these places, you should see and hear about that place so that you get attracted to that Lord and you will relish. Like in Tirumala, you go, the Lord has got a white dot here, his hand is like this. If you go somewhere else, if you go to Vrindavan, you have Banki Bihari. So beautiful, Banki Bihari ji. Okay. Similarly, you go to Mayapur or Panchatattva deities are so beautiful, or Radha Madhav are right there. They are so attractive. Radha Raman is in Vrindavan. This is Radha Madhav. But in Vrindavan, Radha Ramanji. So when you go to any of these places, like it can be Ayodhya, it can be Srirangam. When you go to Srirangam, the Lord is so wonderful. Each place, the Lord does only one work. Lord, when He comes, He came to Tirumala, He was waiting, He is standing and waiting for us. Then He saw we did not come, probably went to Ahobilam or other places, He sat down. He is still not coming, He is gone to Srirangam and He is sleeping now. Arey, kabhi to aa jao. the Lord is very eager for us to come back. That's why He sends all these acharyas. Okay, that boat that is getting rocked because of the storm, which we are not able to control, that boat, if you just change the captain can drive your boat out of storm. You have heard this? The ships that go, when there is a storm in the ship, the qualified captain can actually take you out of the storm.
Yes.
Okay, that's what it says. When you are under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, when you are under the shelter of a bona fide spiritual authority, your boat will rock, but it will go back. Okay, so that's a very important point that we learn here, right? So we should learn to control our senses, and that can happen only when we are intelligent to control. There's a nice example that is given here of Ambrish Maharaj here. So, which sense we should control? All the senses, guaranteed, right? Not one senses. Even one senses is a problem. So, this wonderful set of shlokas. I've just taken one shloka here, but this set of shlokas from the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that says Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo Vachamsi Vaikunta Gunanu Varnane. Okay. So, what does Ambrish Maharaj do? There's a larger translation to it, but Ambrish Maharaj always engages mind in meditating upon the lotus feet of the Lord. His words in describing the glories of the Lord, his hands in cleansing the Lord's temple, and his ears in hearing the words spoken by Krishna or about Krishna. You know the difference, right? By Krishna and about Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is given by Krishna. If you look at Srimad Bhagavatam, it's about Krishna. Both of them are extremely powerful. He engaged his eyes in seeing the deities of the Lord, Krishna's temples and Krishna's places like Mathura and Vrindavan. He engaged his senses in a sense of touch in touching the bodies of the Lord's devotees. He engages his legs in going to the different dhams. He engages his hands in serving the Lord by sweeping the floor, by washing the vessels. He engages all his senses in the service of the Lord. And who is he? He's a king. He's a king. He's Ambrish Maharaj. And he tells you how to lead our life. Every sense, when you engage in the Lord's service, it becomes less and less attracted by the Maya or the illusion or the material world. When you relish, so one time a devotee actually was, a devotee usually shops for the temple, and when Srila Prabhupada was there, he shopped and he came back and he would settle the account. He had missed a few rupees, or 7 cents or something like that. And Prabhupada asked what happened. He said, actually I went to the shop, I saw a chocolate or a barfi or something like that, so I bought that out of this money. Prabhupada said, you should not be doing this, right? So it's Krishna's money, why don't you come with me? He took him and he made him a halwa, in suji ka halwa or kesari or whatever it is. So he makes him an halwa and gives him, after offering to the Lord, he gives him that halwa and he says, you taste this, the taste of the chocolate that you had, what you wanted to buy, that will go away. And the devotee tells, so there's a lot of memories of these disciples of Srila Prabhupada. One of the things where he says that this particular thing I've never tasted, something as wonderful as this halwa. It's the same halwa you would have had many times, but I would have never tasted something like this until from that day onwards, till date, he never eats something that is not offered to Krishna. The chocolate, that attraction that we have. So all of us, why is mind a problem? The mind keeps giving us all these options and we get attracted. It could be addiction sometimes, it could be just be attraction, it sometimes could just be that I'm interested in something like this. Or you want to try it out. The mind keeps giving you these options. If you're intelligent enough, you know how to stop it. Right? When you get into the service of Krishna, when you start relishing, okay, many times my parents, they like outside food also. They used to at least. But since this example I can definitely give, the rasgulla that we make in Jagannath Mandir, His Grace Kanaya Baldev Prabhu makes wonderful rasgullas. If you have tasted, if you have not tasted, be there to taste it. So, you get their rasgullas from there. So after eating that rasgulla, wherever, my father was a big fan of K.C. Das. For people who know, we are Bengalurians, so K.C. Das was our go-to place near Church Street, right? So those days, I used to be in Joseph's. So K.C. Das, that was my father's favorite place. And now he says, I can't take rasgullas anywhere else. I can't take this anywhere else. Why? Because you get a higher taste. That masal puri shop is still there. My college shop. That shop is still there. I never have to go there because we get everything in Krishna consciousness. Food is very difficult to control. The toughest of these 5 senses to control is the tongue. How many of you know the toughest of these senses is the tongue. Why? It does two things. It wants to taste lot of things. What is the other thing that it does? It wants to speak. It wants to speak, comment on everything. This is that. This is not there. That is not. This is not correct. That is not correct. This is mother-in-law. This is father-in-law. This is husband. This is wife. Everything it will tell. No, it wants to tell. Okay, so the tongue is the toughest thing to control, and best way to control the tongue is through Krishna Prasadam and chanting. Of course, chanting will come there. Okay, so Amrish Maharaj engaged everything. So does it mean that if you become Krishna conscious, you will not have any problems in the boat that goes on? Yes or no? We will have little problems. How do you overcome?
I think you become more stronger and more aware of how it is and maybe how to deal with it better. Anxiety comes down.
Anxiety comes down. Very nice. Mind gives you those anxieties. Okay. The whole process starts with one fundamental thing called Adav Shraddha. You have heard of this? Faith that this will work. So Krishna doesn't promise you that you will have a stormless sea. He promises you that the boat is rock steady. Right? You will have your ups and downs, but if you have faith that the boat is going to be steady, you will not have the anxiety that I will fall off from the boat, I will get crushed. That's what is the confidence that a lot of senior Vaishnavas have when you look at them. Why are they so undisturbed in situations? Okay, during COVID, so the whole world was shaken up. You will see some of them are very, very steady. They are not too bothered, too worried. And when you associate with them, you will also start getting that confidence. And Srila Prabhupada was there, the war was happening. There was a war that was happening. He continued saying that, okay, let's go. What is happening? If the bomb has to fall, then it will fall. If I have to die in the fall, I will die. But I cannot stop my service to Krishna. Rakhi Krishna Mare Krishna. Rakhi ke Krishna decides to kill you. There is no one who can protect you. You are inside house, you are in the shore, the boat will still sink. And Krishna decides to protect you. There is no one who can trouble you. You can look at Prahlad Maharaj's example. Right? So Narsimha came, full protection, guaranteed. Right? So that's the confidence that we should have.
Even Prabhupada had a heart attack.
He had multiple heart attacks when he was traveling. Okay? So anyways, so should we control the mind? So yes, we should. Krishna promises, it does not say we'll have a stormless sea, but he provides an unsinkable ship. And this comes with the confidence that we have there. The Shraddha, the confidence that taking up Krishna consciousness will give me guaranteed path. Like I said, you are in the deep dark well, there are multiple ropes, roots, snakes that are hanging. You don't know which one to hold and go back. If there is a person from the top, he says that, Aa jao yaar, main hu yahan pe. You trust that person, then you are guaranteed to get out. And the problem is there can be many people on top who you are not sure if it's right or wrong. What is the best way? You will see others climbing safely. You will also hear that not only one person is there, there are set of people. I gave that example, right? The whole parampara is holding and pulling you. Safest, quickest path. It is said, even the higher planetary demigods, the devatas who are there in higher planetary system, they love to come to this Kali Yuga when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was here and giving us this wonderful mantra. So this mana, this mind is very restless, chanchala, which we just heard. If you want to keep it stable, then that, well, how do we do it? We use the mantra. Mantrayate iti mantra. Mantra means the one that does not let your mana become disturbed. That is the mantra. Meaning of mantra. And obviously we have got the Maha Mantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Okay, Bangalore traffic. So the easiest example to understand, right? So when you have, if you have the opportunity to go on a wonderful, nice road, no traffic, and you have got a very nice car, what you should do?
Take notice.
Cover as much distance as possible. Simple, right? Because you never know when the next traffic jam will come. You will never know when the next hump will come. You will never know when your vehicle will stop. So do not waste this opportunity that you have got today. Don't wait that I will take up Krishna consciousness someday. Today you have got a smooth road, you have got less traffic, less disturbances. Take it up. Trust us who have got the experience. There are going to be traffic jams that will come in the future. However young or old you are, right? So today is the best day to progress as soon and as quickly as possible. You never know tomorrow what will come, what will stop you. Right? Don't wait for you to become perfect in bhakti. Just do it right now, right away. Okay? So with that, it's almost 6 o'clock. Let's actually look at some practical tips that I've got, and 100% you all know about it. So I'm going to repeat it, and we will stop with that, and we'll go for about 5 minutes of Q&A. Okay. So these are some of the things that will help you control the mind, and this is something that all of us should be knowing by now. The first one is when you're in association of devotees, devotee association. Okay, when you go for yatra, when you are with devotees for 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, whatever yatras, if you have been, you will understand during yatra, very rarely you will open your mobile and look at what is the news score, what is happening in the world, correct, which is the new movie, what is the movie review. You will not see that, right? Why? Because in association of devotees, you want to see, okay, this person is chanting 64 rounds, at least I should do 16. 17th one, can it try? When you are going around the Govardhan Parikrama, after the 20, 22 kilometers, 25 kilometers, your mind is not telling, chalo yaar movie dekh lete hain. What is your mind saying? It was such a blissful experience. Itna sara leela suna hai. I've heard so many pastimes of the Lord. Let me sleep. And you are in yatra, you will actually sleep in 5 minutes. Only in Bangalore you can't sleep in 5 minutes when you go to bed. You go to bed, within 5 minutes you are asleep. Why? Because next day morning 4 o'clock you are supposed to be in the temple for Mangalarti. How can you miss it? Right? So association of devotees, don't miss this chance. So they have set up something so far from the ISKCON Sheshadripuram temple where I'm coming from, right? So 15 kilometers, 18 kilometers away, so that devotees around this place can come. So firstly, thankful to them. Second, don't miss this chance, right? Second part, when we read scriptures, we just discussed the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna gives you practical examples. If you have finished Bhagavad Gita, go into the post-graduation study. Srimad Bhagavatam, very beautiful pastimes of the Lord, and each time you will learn more and more about bhakti, more and more about how can I become serious. Okay, reading the scriptures helps. The third one, obviously, the most important one is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Why? We just said, what goes out, goes in is Krishna, what comes out is Krishna's name. When you take prasadam, you can chant very nicely, right? So you can talk about Krishna everywhere. Right? So when we have kids at home, all those kids who went for the class, tell them Krishna Katha. When you tell them Katha, you will also learn newer Katha. There's so many. We just had the Kartik month. I'm sure all of you participated in Damodar Leela. You would have done a couple of programs at least. So the Damodar Leela is so beautiful. Every time we hear it is very nice. So sweet. And there's so many nice pastimes around it. Probably some other day, but there's so many smaller pastimes connected to those Leelas. And next time when you visit Vrindavan, and this is Ukkal, this is where Krishna was tied, this is Brahmanda Ghat where Krishna opened his mouth and showed the entire Brahmanda to Yashodamai, this is the Chaurasi Kamba temple, all that you will see within 2 hours. So nice, we have heard about these pastimes, now you have a chance to go and see these places. So chant the Hare Krishna mantra, you will get more and more connected to the Lord, lesser and lesser disturbed. And the more serious and sincere your chanting is, the more elevated you will become. Okay, the fourth one is usually tied to our diet. I just mentioned having prasadam, and it says you are regulated in your eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. You have a very regulated life. When you take examples of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they had a very structured life. Wherever Srila Prabhupada went across the world, he traveled about 14 times around the world, and he started at the age of 69. So 70 years he established this stuff, right? So he was that old. Whichever place in the world he went, he would get up in the morning, early morning, he will attend the Mangalarti, he will go for a morning walk, he will do his bhajanas and kirtana. So he had a very regulated life. He will have an oil massage and everything. We also regulate our life, very structured our life, starting with the prasadam, every day eating only prasadam or eating little prasadam. How many of you offer something to the Lord every day at home? Little bit, very nice. Very nice. If you are not doing, please start. little water, little one tulsi in it, you offer to the Lord. We all have some fruits, dry fruits at home, some sugar, some milk. The Lord loves it when you offer something. Okay, and when you take it, your mind becomes better, right? So, like a person who takes liquor, his mind is turned off, or takes an intoxicant, his mind is switched off. When a person takes prashadam, his mind becomes more clear for spiritual things. And lastly, you should be enthusiastic in devotional activities. Okay, utsaha. The utsaha that we show to take up spirituality, that is also very important for us to progress very quickly. Like I said, empty road, if the driver says that lazily is driving, he's just wasting time, right? So if you have the enthusiasm, you will drive at a good speed, regulated speed. So you will not crash. The guarantee is Krishna saying unsinkable ship. Right? You will have a road hump where your wife next to you will scold, but that's okay. You will still travel faster. Okay. So these are some of the practical tips. Usually it is at A, B, C, D, E.
Yes.
If you have heard this, right? So association, books, chanting, diet, and your enthusiasm, your eagerness, or your etiquette. There are a lot of. For E, there are multiple versions, but this is some of the practical tips. So let me stop here. 8605. So any questions, any comments on what we just discussed? I have a question. Okay, no questions.
Raghu,
Yes.
I don't know the difference between Radha Madhav and Radha Raman. Just now you said, like, can you please?
Radha Madhav and Radha Raman.
Huh.
They are the different deities, different vigrahas of the Lord. When you go to different temple, you have Radha Krishna.
Like how you have seen and said that it is not the photo of that I
I have the same photo at home, so I have a similar Radha Madhav photo. So each place, Radharani and Krishna look a little different.
Okay.
It's not a Xerox. So when you see them, you will identify. Each place you go, each Jagannath is also different. The structure, like us, we can identify. Okay. Yeah. The deities are very, very beautiful. You should go visit these places, then you will understand. Like for example, in Srirangam, the Lord is sleeping. If you go to Thiruvananthapuram, the Lord is sleeping. But they are very different in the way they look, in their appearance, in the worship and everything. Like that, each deity has their own flavor. Visit Mayapur, Puri Mayapur, then visit Vrindavan. You will get all this taste. You will relish. Then when you see the Lord, you will love to see. Acha, this Lord wears just like this. He's like that. He's like this. Go to Mayapur, you will see how Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are dressed up. When you visit, you will start falling in love. How many of you have here visited ISKCON Sheshadripuram, Jagannath Temple? Yes, you should. Yeah, very nice. Okay, thank you. Keep coming. No, the Jagannath there is so beautiful and so merciful. Many of devotees say that he is very, very, very merciful. He keeps you attracted towards him. If one time you come, he'll keep calling you back. Okay, yes, Mataji, you had a question.
Yeah, so regarding the mind control, I was talking about the offering and then how we can consume, whether it's food or whatever. Because we live in this material world, all the more I think, controlling the mind is difficult. But if you repurpose it to Krishna and then do, I think is in a lot of way, one, you're on a right path, and at the same time, whatever you are attracted to in the materialistic world, you're possibly doing it, keeping him in mind. So you are sort of pleasing yourself as well as the Lord. That's what I think.
Very nice. I'll probably add to what you just said, right? So, some of you have kids. If you tell kid, chup baito, aise kyun kar rahe ho? What will the kid do? How long will it keep chup baito? Few seconds, few minutes, depending on how many times you have beaten the kid. So the kid will stay for a few minutes. If you tell the kid, "Arey, ye nahi khelna hai, ye lekho, isme khelo." That's what you're telling. Repurpose the mind, and the mind will still become restless. Okay, you give another toy. After 30 minutes, that toy will also get boring. The kid will need one more toy, right? A parent typically, grandparents very clearly know. Arey, that guy will come now. You be ready. My parents are with me, so my son grew up with them. And my mom will keep saying, he will get bored with it, you give him something else. Okay? Like that, we keep giving our mind. The problem is, our mind wants Nava Nava Rasa. It wants newer and newer taste. And the acharyas actually say, when you get the taste of the lotus feet of Krishna, you are not looking for anything from the material world because they are not tasteless. It's useless. I split at the very thought of having this material taste. Okay, material taste, the expansion to it, I leave it. But yes, when you repurpose the mind, when you divert the mind towards Krishna, there's so many wonderful pastimes, so many wonderful details about the Lord. Some people get attracted by the form of the Lord. Mataji just asked, right? So, if just as a shloka, he's wearing a pitambar dress, he's wearing a Vaijayanti mala, he's got a sweet Srivatsa mark, he's got a Kaustubha mani, he's wearing a peacock feather, right? He's wearing the dhoti which is yellow in color, right? So, when you hear about all this, when you're looking at the world, acha, ye hai, ye hai, ye hai, ye hai, you start relating, right? You start enjoying that. Similarly, some people enjoy it. He is also getting restless, right? So his mind is like, कितना देर बिताओगे? अब तो class खत्म कर दो. हो गया, no problem, it's okay. So like that, when you hear the pastime, अच्छा ये लीला सुन लिया, there's so many leelas, and especially when you hear from the Brajvasis, when the localites of Braj, right? So they give you such nectarian pastime because they love their Kanhaiya, they love their Shrimati Radharani so much, and they don't bother, no etiquettes followed for them. अरे ये तो चोर है यार, इसका चोर का कथा बोलता है, ऐसे करता. That's what they talk. हम लोग तो बैठ के यहाँ पे सोते, अरे how can we tell about Krishna like this, right? So each time when you hear, you start getting more and more attracted. So that's why this Shravanam and Kirtanam keeps your mind more and more enthused towards the Lord. And the more and more we hear, if you keep telling the kids, see, he's playing a video game, you tell him that this video game, that video game, you tell him that, okay, Disneyland mein ye hai, the Mickey Mouse is so cute, the Barbie doll is like this. When you talk about this, the attraction is, can I also visit the Disneyland? Can I also visit the whatever we are interested in, right? Right? When you hear more and more about the Lord, the interest, the mind is waiting for you to go to that place. It gets diverted. Thank you for adding. I just added some more points. Any other questions or comments? Prabhuji, you can feel free to stop anytime. Anyone else has any comments or questions? If not, we will end with this. I was just mentioning, right? So if you want to travel in this boat, a boat that is not going to rock you down, right? So a boat that will guarantee to take you, the entire parampara is holding you, including Lord Krishna himself. The first person in the parampara is Swayam Krishna. He is taking us back. So don't miss this opportunity to get back to where you actually belong. Right? So when a person, rich man's son, is come to the road, he's become a beggar on the street. Someone comes and tells, come, your father, you know, tumhara baap kaun hai? He's Ambani. Why don't you come back? Right? How should the son feel? Are chilo chalte hai, right? That is what we are just learning. We are saying, hamara baap Krishna hai, Swayam Bhagwan. The entire universes belong to him. And he is lovingly calling us, Ghar Raja beta, kya kar rahe ho? Right? That's what he says in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter. We just finished that. No? Oh, sorry, we are in the 2nd chapter. 4th chapter, he actually tells us, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti ma meti sorjana. You live this body, tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. There is no punarjanma for you. Ma meti sorjana. You will come back to me. He is giving you a guarantee in Bhagavad Gita. That means 4th chapter. We have 18 chapters. So he is giving you more details. Okay, so let's be enthusiastic to go back home, back to him. So we'll stop here. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks. Thank you everyone. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.